All right, we are back with another news segment here for you. We've got quite a few things to talk about. First one I want to kick into actually is this one right here. This is the CARB compliant states. Okay, now this is actually an older article. This is from last year in June, but it shows what they are and it explains it. But Stellantis will no longer allocate new gas-only variants to dealers in 14 states. So what that means is if they have a vehicle like the Wrangler, for example, the Jeep Wrangler, and they make it in a gas version with the 3.6, and they also make it in a 4xe hybrid version, these 14 states will only get the hybrid version on the lots. They will not be given any gas-only versions to sell at their dealers. Now, the dealers can order the gas one for a customer order, but the dealership lots, Stellantis will not send them to them. Same with like the Cherokees, 4XEs versus the regular Cherokee, things like that. Okay, so if they offer a vehicle two ways, one is a hybrid, one is a gas, the gas only version cannot go to these four states because of CARB compliance. And it made me look into this and read into this deeper. So I did. That's how I found this article. So the reason behind this and what we have going on here is that these states, and I'll show you which ones they are here, but basically, see, there was a deal that went on right here. According to reports, Stellantis is not part of the agreement CARB reach. Okay, CARB is California Auto whatever. It's made out of California right here. California Air Resource Board. It's just the dumbest thing in the world. It's the reason we got it. So you have all these stupid regulations on your lawnmowers. Just leave it to California to screw up everything. And anyway, the CARB rule is compliant. Okay, well there are now 14 states that are doing that. But again, look at the joke here on how it's all about money is what it is. But according to the report, Stellantis is not part of the agreement CARB reached with 5 automakers, which was BMW, Ford, Honda, Volvo, and Volkswagen. That rule that agreement they came up with allows the rules regarding sales of gas vehicles to apply to national averages for any of those companies. They made an agreement with CARB. How did they make an agreement? They gave them lots and lots of money. That's how they made an agreement. Okay, and CARB said, "Sure, we'll let you slide. You're giving us money." Stellantis, however, did not meet those standards and must meet these standards in each of the must meet those standards in the CARB states, not nationwide. So in order for them to meet the standards per state, they have to, here's the rule. The rule requires that zero emissions and plug-in hybrids vehicle be 35% of sales for the 2026 model year, 68% for 2023, and 100% for 2035. I'm sorry, not 2023. I meant 2030. But you can see that right here. Okay, this is CARB's ruling. Okay, that it must meet, and it's California's ruling, but it's where it comes from. But it must meet our vehicles and our full zero emission, so EVs and hybrids must be 35% of sales by 2026. 68% by 2030, and 100% by 2035. So that means that in California and these other 14 states, by 2035, it's mandatory that all the vehicles end up being EV or hybrid. Okay, stupid. Okay, but anyway, so what are these states? We're not going to spend much time on this, but what are these states? Okay, here they are. The 14 states currently following the CARB rules are obviously California, Colorado, Connecticut, Delaware, Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, New Jersey, New York, obviously, who would you think any differently? Oregon, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, Vermont, and Washington. Minnesota, Nevada, New Mexico, and Virginia all plan to follow the rules in the future too. Okay, what a joke. This is the dumbest crap I've ever heard. It's just straight up stupid. So fed up with this crap. But anyway, the key reason I brought it up here for you, if you live in one of these states, and you go to your Jeep dealer and all you see are 4xe model Jeeps there, you don't see any of the gas versions, it's not because they're selling fast. It's because they don't have them there. They can't get them. Jeep won't allocate them to those dealers. You have to, if you live in one of those states, you can still get one, but you have to custom order it. Just stupid dumb politics that all relate to money. 100% everything about it relates to money lining people's pockets. Zero care about anything else. This one right here, I found this was funny because car dealerships screw us all the time. They sell our information, our tech, they do all this stuff. Everything happens. An annoyed law student makes Stellantis pay $8.5 million for a ringless voicemail that she got. I love this. Okay, Stellantis called the wrong law student and now has to pay almost $9 million to settle claims that broke the Telephone Consumer Protection Act. Basically, we're going to go through this quick. What they did is they sent ringless voicemails. Okay, with a ringless voicemail that you see right here, ringless voicemails are illegal because the person does not get to choose to answer the call or to accept it. It's ringless, so you are forced to listen to it in your voicemails. And apparently Stellantis was doing this, and they sent this stuff out back in 2018. They had a hot deal on right here, Stellantis in 2018. Called a hot deal about a Chrysler Pacifica hybrid. And well, anyway, this girl got this, and she is a law student, and she felt that this went against that law. Where is it? She said right here. According to court documents, the dog student. Here she is. She received a voicemail from FCA back on air about the Chrysler hybrid. The call was in violation of the Telephone Consumer Protection Act and has now managed to wrestle a settlement agreement out of the automaker. The automaker has to now pay $60 to each one of those phone calls and people that it called, or $25 if they're part of a different class action suit on the same thing. But there was 89,000 of those people they called, meaning 9 million people had to. And you know what? I'm okay with this. Do I think it's stupid that somebody got, you go through the trouble soon over somebody this? Yes. But I hate these things. I get these voicemails from all these stupid things, literally 20, 30 of them a day, especially on a business line, ridiculous amounts of them. And like I said, these auto industries and auto manufacturers, they do so much corrupt stuff that hurts us anyway, that like I said, when they take one on the chin, I don't mind. Good for you. You kind of earned it. You deserve it. And as many of you guys that follow my stuff know, I love Jeep and I love Ram, but I hate Stellantis. Cannot stand Stellantis as a company. So moving on from there. This one here, it's a lesson for all of us, and you would think everybody knows it, and it's important that you do, because you cannot have your cake and eat it too in this situation. And I'm not saying anything about this guy doing anything wrong, because he's 100% right, and he's asking the right questions, okay? But his post in here, again, I read I go on a lot of forums. I spend a lot of time paying attention to a lot of things. Rock dings after lifting and adding bigger tires. Okay, this is a given. Okay, this is an absolute given. If you are going to lift your vehicle, even if you're not, but if you're going to put on more aggressive tires, you are going to get rock chips. If you are going to stick your tires out, or you could get rock chips. But if you're going to stick them outside of your vehicle, where the tires stick out, you are definitely going to get them. And when I first started reading this, I'm like, it's interesting. He's talking about the lift wouldn't matter for the bigger tires. Lift and adding bigger tires doesn't matter. I looked at it and went, rock dings after lift and adding bigger tires. You don't get rock dings from bigger tires and from a lift. You don't get those. What you get is rock dings from more aggressive tires and from having more poke, more offset, so they stick out far. So here he is right here. After I added my Westcott lift kit and 285 size 20 tires, he says right here, 20 by 9 by plus 20 offset rims. Plus 20 offset, okay? That's huge. Plus 20 offset, so I'm getting some pretty serious rock dings on the leading edge of both rear fenders, and I do spend a lot of time on dirt roads. When I installed the lift, I was forced to take off the front mud flaps and crash plates, so that's definitely not helping my situation. I chose a 285/65 in hopes that the 11.2-inch tire would limit this type of situation. Okay, so he did try. He didn't go with like a 12, he didn't go with like a 33 by 1250 to try and make this thing so it was super wide, look like a roller skate, and do all this stuff. But so he was attempting to try to not let this be an issue. He was aware of it. But when we show you the vehicle and the stance, it's all going to come together pretty quick. Now, he has no choice now but PPF or mud flaps. There's no options, or fender flares. But when we scroll down and look at this, attached picture shows how much poke I have, as well as the rock dings. Well, here's the rock dings. You can see them. It's raining, but you can see all these rock dings here. Some of them are denting. That looks like it's denting and hitting. Okay, you can see more there. You can see them here. Look at dings there. This thing's getting pretty beat up for a brand new Tacoma. Look at the amount of offset on here. What did you think was going to happen? I mean, now again, I'm not taking anything away from this guy. He may not have known. He might not have known what it would be like when he did it here. But I mean, look at that. Of course you're going to. Rocks are going to get stuck in here. Now, rocks are probably not even really getting stuck too bad in these ones because rocks big enough to get stuck in these outer lugs. Like on common with mud tires, they don't throw a lot of rocks because a rock big enough to get stuck in here usually doesn't have enough weight, or it's too heavy for the tread to actually pick up, or it throws it super easy when it does. It's not heavy enough to pick up and whip up high. Usually, it's these channels here that are throwing those a lot of the times. But anyway, he's getting some rock chips on here, and it's interesting to see. Put it plain and simply, if you're sticking your tires out like this, you're going to beat up your truck. I've said it many times. There is a reason that by law in this country that all vehicle tires have to stay inside of the fender flare. They have to. They are not allowed to come out like this. Even on the Jeep, when they went to they offer now the 35 Recon package, they add, because the wheels stick out just a little bit more, they were forced by law to add a little 1-inch strip of extra fender that goes on here to protect that. There's a reason wheels are meant to be inside the fenders. Does this look good? Yes, for mall crawling. Is it going to beat your truck up real bad off-road? It most definitely 100% is. So, all right, moving on from there, too. We got this right here. Motor Authority has this on here. GM envisions a future where entire windshield becomes a display. They are not the only ones. I read this. You can if you want to. I'm not getting into it too detailed, but they... and there's others that were too. I did see that on here. It says GM is not the only automaker with this. We've seen a corresponding patent application. Nissan's designing something like this. Toyota showed the window to the world concept back in 2011, working on it. Mercedes-Benz and Volkswagen have similar displays in the works. But basically what they're trying to do is they're trying to replace your windshield. You will not look through your windshield anymore. Your windshield will now be a panoramic view of what's going on out there. You're basically going to stare at a TV screen as you drive down the road. It's kind of how they're making it sound with all their stuff on there. Being able to see more wider field of view, panoramic style, so you can see things off to the side. They got a bunch of stuff on here. I'm not sure what's going on with all this, but this is the world. This is what it's come down to. And if we don't have enough problems with tech already, here we go. Yeehaw. Now you won't even be able to look out your window. You stare at a screen. I don't know what to make of this. And then moving on from there, this one right here, I forgot what I was going to look at on that one. I thought that was going to be something when I saw new rules, and then I read it, and it isn't anything. I was just talking about how the Maverick requires a lot of metric tools now. That's basically all that is. This is the one I wanted right here. Ford Maverick Dark Horse delivered with mismatching taillights from the factory. Now, understand this Dark Horse is a very expensive vehicle. Okay, this is one heck of a Mustang. And, somehow at the dealership, and they don't even know how this one got there, but this is a European taillight. This is American taillight. Okay, two different ones for two different countries. Somehow, this European taillight made it into the supply that went to there, and then somehow made it into the car, was installed on the car, somehow got through quality checks at all the checkpoints and all the quality control, and then also through dealer prep and through dealers waxing it and all the paint protection and everything that happened on this, and this guy finally gets delivery of it with two different taillights. Is it funny? Yes, it is. But think about how that is when all we're hearing about is quality control, yet this taillight managed to make it all the way through the whole entire system, all the way to the owner before he realized it's got the wrong taillight on it. Here it is. You can read it if you want to. Look, I mean, that's not like that. That's not obvious. Okay, this is pretty obvious difference in here, and somehow it made it through every quality control check kind of a deal, and made it all the way to them. So, interesting. There you go for you, and that is going to end our news segment for right now. Thanks for watching. Talk to you soon.